This is Mandy with Scott Leroy Marketing. Today we are going to do a command overview. This will be a brief overview of the entire command. If you have any questions, please drop them in the chat. I will be circling back to those at the end of class. If you have any questions that is not addressed here, or if you think of some after the class, please feel free to reach back out to us at our email address. I have dropped that in the chat for you. That is support@scottleroymarketing.com. And as you see on my screen, we're going to start with the super basics here with signing into your command. Now, you put your username here and your password here. I do want to let you know the username is not specific to capitalization, but the password is. It is super sensitive. And you also have this eyeball over here to the right that you can always click one time and it will show you where you're putting in your password. Sometimes a space is included before or after, and it can keep your password from going through. So if you're having login issues at any point, it's the very first thing to always check. Okay. And so I'm going to go ahead and sign in here. And as that's bringing up the dashboard, I'm going to let a few more of our friends here in from the waiting room. There we go. All right, guys. So this is the dashboard in command. We're going to start from top to bottom, cover the basics. You'll see that we are on the command tab on the top left. You do have an option for connect here. I'm going to click it one time just to show you what it looks like. Thing to keep in mind is, while this is a profile for you, it is not for your clients. It's not outward facing, as we would say. This is an internal profile for your Connect. That means that other KW agents will see it. It kind of works like a Facebook feed. So you will see news posted or comments posted from other agents. You will have your groups over here to the left if you have joined any. And I'll show you in just a little bit how to update your profile that would be seen by other KW agents here. You'll see the Command MC tab here. If you are staff or hold a role in your market center, you will have this tab. If not, don't worry. It just means you're an agent, which is a great thing to be. So you won't have access to that Command MC. I'm going to click back over to Command. And on the far right, just to show you the further items on the top taskbar here, you will first see the little hut. It looks like a little business. That is your marketplace. If you were to click this, it would open up another browser window and it would show you different apps that can integrate into the backside of Command, such as .loop or Twilio, things of that nature. Some do cost money, some are free, so do pay attention to that. It may prompt you to put in a card number if you're getting an app that does cost money. Then your bell right here, these are our notifications. You will be able to see that you can dismiss them one by one, or you can dismiss all at any point, and it will let you know just as soon as you have any notifications through Command, especially if you're doing like an import or an export. These you will see that we're getting some autoresponder emails back and forth. We have a notice about our Twilio account. Those will appear there. Go to the far right. I'm going to come back to the name part because we're going to spend a little time in there. But on the far right for the question mark, this is your help center through Command. So the guided tours, it's a guided tour of Command, very helpful. Underneath that is Keller Williams University. You already are aware of that. So as far as education goes, it's not limited just to Command, but it's throughout all of KW's platforms. Then you have a chat with support or post an idea. Post an idea is kind of like crowdsourcing. You can go here. It will take you to ideas.kw.com, and you can see other ideas that other agents have posted. You can also post your own. And KW Support actually looks at those. They are very open to new ideas from agents. So highly recommend, if you feel like there's a feature that would be helpful in Command, go there, post it. They will pay attention. They've built several things based off of those suggestions. The chat with support, I want to click that one time just to show you guys. KW Support is live 10 a.m. through 6 p.m. And that is Monday through Friday. And I want to show you, they have a bot here that go ahead, excuse me, it goes ahead and gives you some links. However, you can get in touch with them directly. And when you click the get in touch, it's going to give you two options here. One is a live chat. I can click this and wait for an agent or a representative to be available, or I can leave a message. And if you leave a message, it will go directly to them, and when they reply, it'll come back to you via your email address. Super helpful, especially if you have a crazy schedule like most agents. This would be very helpful for you if you have any issues within Command. And again, you can also reach out to us at support@scottleroymarketing.com, and we'll be happy to help you. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get rid of that for now and go back up to the name. Now, when I click this, you'll see several things. You see that we're on a personal profile here. If you are on a team, you will see your team profile listed just below, and you can toggle back and forth between your team profile and your individual. If you don't see a team listed here, no worries. You're just a solo agent and you wouldn't see this. You're not missing anything. Okay. Next is profile. This is where I was mentioning before on the connect over here. It's an internal, basically, way of connecting with other agents. It's a great way for referrals and things like that, just to network and mastermind between other KW agents. But this is the profile that would be outward facing to them if you click this here. And just remember, you can have a completely different bio. If you want to put a different biography there for yourself, that would be based to other agents rather than to clients. Just something, just an idea to give you there to make it more personal. If you're looking to grow your business through referrals, great idea. Settings, we're fixing to jump into this. This is going to be basically the back end of your command where I'm going to show you some integrations with other apps and some settings that you'll want to pay attention to. Command training is exactly like when we clicked on the question mark over here. It's going to go through some tutorials for you. And then you do have the choice to log out. Let's say if you're using a public computer within your market center, you would always want to make sure you use this here. Okay, so let's go ahead and go into settings, and we will be coming back to our dashboard for me to go through more with you concerning the tabs that are in Command. But with your settings here, it immediately opens your integrations page. You will see if we have a DocuSign account, this is where you would connect it. Your Facebook, you'll notice you have two options here. One is post scheduling, one is ads manager. Depending on what you're doing, you'll want to have both of those connected to your business pages. You'll see that Scott has already gotten his social media connected as well. Loop is here. Two important parts I just want to point out to you real quick is going to be your command email. Here we go. So your command email is where you send emails through command. You do get up to 5,000 free. And if you click this manage button over here to the right, this controls how your email and how your name goes out to your clients when you're sending an email through command. It's very important. So you want to make sure your name appears exactly how you would like it. And the reply to email is right here, and you can toggle back and forth if you've got a couple listed. So just make sure that that's exactly how you would like it. I'm going to go ahead and close that. The other way to send emails through command is through a MailChimp account. MailChimp does give you up to 2,500 emails for free, and you can link it here and manage it as well. However, I just wanted to make sure that you saw the command email so that you can control how your name and your email does go out. Okay, and you'll see a button down at the bottom. It's also at the top. It says connect more apps. This is if you wanted to connect, again, let's say Loop is not generally automatically listed on this page unless you've already integrated it. So that's why I use it as my example. So I would always go here to connect, or any other apps that you're looking to connect. You have a button at the bottom, and if you scroll all the way to the top, it's up here as well. Okay, and over here to the left, there are several options. I'm going to show you probably the two most that you will use, well, the two that you'll use the most, if I can get my words straight today. So under command settings, you will see options for contacts. You will also see my logs right here, and I'm going to expand it just to show you. But my logs, if you're doing imports, you can click on this and it will actually show you the imports that you've done for your contacts. It'll show you if you had a failed contact. It's all right here. I can download the original file, download the error file. Super helpful. Okay. And as far as your contacts go up here, this is where your contact archive lives, just for future reference. If you were to have any contacts here, um, definitely stay away from the database wipe. That's not something you want to do. Reach out to us if you want some help or any more information on that. Um, and then I want to make sure you see connect settings. This is your marketing profile. Now, I know I showed you the profile before. Remember, that is internal, that's facing KW agents only. This marketing profile right here that we're fixing to click, this is your outward facing marketing, outward facing branding. Okay. The information listed here is going to go out to the public in your KW platforms and your KW marketing. You want to make sure first that this is toggled on green right here. This means that it is working. 9 out of 10 times, if you're having an issue with your KW website, come check this first. Sometimes this is not toggled on and it will cause your website to seem like it's not branded or not working. So that's numero uno. Next, pretty self-explanatory. You can put your photo here, your team logo here as well. If you don't have a team logo, we do recommend putting something in here like your KW logo for your market center. That way, on some of the marketing that goes out and on some of the web pages, it would actually put like a broken image or image missing in place of that. So just go ahead and make sure you at least have, the very least, a KW generic logo there. You will see that these sizes are very specific. It is a perfect square. Sometimes it's a little difficult to get done without it looking distorted. If you have any issues with this at all, reach out to us. We can help you with the reformatting, with the making sure that it's the right size and uploaded for you. As we come down to your name here, this is pretty self-explanatory as well. Just make sure that this is legally matching your license. In most states, that is a requirement that you are marketing with the same name that is on your license. You'll see your first, last name. You'll have an option to put your agent number in there as well. If you're not on a team, go ahead and put a name there. You could, or even just your name and your brokerage for your market center. Like if Scott was with Keller Williams Urban Dallas, you would say Scott Leroy at Urban Dallas, KW Urban Dallas there. And the reason being, I'll show you in a little bit on your website, that whatever is put in this particular spot will be listed at the top of your website. It actually goes over your drop-down menu. So it's the title for your drop-down menu. And if you don't have anything here, it will just say your agent. And that doesn't necessarily direct a client to know they need to click on that for a drop-down. Okay. Also, you can put your professional job title here, your slogan. Just know this is required. If you don't have a slogan, just hit spacebar a couple. Because it's a red asterisk, it's required to save this page. So if you're editing it at all, it may get stuck on this. Just put a couple spaces in, you'll be fine. Your designations and credentials, let's say you go to a class and get certified as a buyer specialist. This is a great place to list that. You also have military affiliations. Sorry, I'm moving the screen a little quick. The military affiliation, you can choose from this list which one you're a part of. Great way to advertise and to grow your clientele. You'd put your bio here. Please know that your phone numbers are required here. And it doesn't matter about formatting, you just want to make sure you have all 10 digits. The mobile phone, again, would normally be a direct line to you. Your office phone, if you're on a team and you have a team number that you're required to post, you would put that there because your brokerage phone number is right down here. Some agents choose to put their mobile number in both of these spots. That's okay to do. Okay. And then come down, make sure you're using the email that you want to be using as your primary. Some agents use a Gmail account. Some of them do use their KW email account. Just make sure this is exactly what you want it to be. Your website will also be here. Make sure that's a direct link, as your KW emails do not require www. before them. So please note that some agents will come in here and just hand type it in, and the link won't work that way. So just make sure that's a direct link because we only use the HTTPS. Okay. Moving down to your brokerage information, again, self-explanatory, 360 by 360 pixels, that perfect square. I really do speak English as a first language, guys. I apologize today for tripping over my words. All right. And then on the right-hand side, this is your brokerage information, legally required. Don't always have to have their brokerage license number on there, but if you have it, that's great to put. Further on, legal footer for your text. Now, this is not necessarily something that all the agents would use. As you know, we do have to advertise for KW that they are individually owned and operated. However, that is now standard on your website on the bottom of every web page. So you don't necessarily need it stated here. Could be some extra information that you would like to have added. Just remember the font is going to be super tiny, so it's not necessarily going to be super helpful on your website, but it might be something you'd want to use for some additional marketing. Your legal footer links, especially for our Texas folks out there that have to use some disclosures. This is a great place to put them right here. You can have them linked to your URLs and make sure that they're titled exactly the way you want them to be. You can add and delete them as you would choose to and add an additional link. Your legal footer images, this would be good for like your realtor logo or your MLS logo, fair housing logo, anything of that nature. Just remember it's going to be really itty bitty and it will only be like a thumbnail size. Some agents do try to add an additional photo of themselves or a listing, something to that nature. Just know this is so tiny, it probably will be unrecognizable on your website. And continuing down, there we go. And so these are your social links. These are completely optional, but this is where they would actually link on the bottom of your Facebook, not your Facebook page, on your website. If you would like an agent or a client to be able to access your social profiles, this is where you would put the direct link. Definitely come test these out. If you are in your own profile sometimes and try to copy a link and do it incorrectly, when a client would click on this or a prospect, it would actually ask them to log into their own Facebook and it kind of errors out and never gets them to your business page. So make sure you test these when you put them here. Google Analytics, this is not fully available right now. We can help you set this up and track who is visiting your website and stuff like that. However, the feedback right now from the Google Analytics is not in full operation at this time. And then after you make all of your changes, you just want to click Save. Now that was a lot of information. Just to brief you again, this is your marketing profile. Underneath your settings from this menu right here, and you would come over here and click Marketing Profile. This is all the information that feeds directly out to your KW website and other platforms for your marketing. This is what clients would see. Okay, so now I would like to go over the tabs with you in your command. So I'm going to go up here to the top and just click Home. If you're not familiar with the small icons on the left, you can always choose the KW Red and click it once. It will expand and show you the names. So we're just going to go up here to Home. If you did make any changes during that, make sure to click Save. All right, this is your dashboard. This gives you some snippets of some of the tabs that are over here, like tasks. You'll see tasks listed here. However, it is also a tab over here to the left where you can expand it further. You see your notepad. This is a living document. You can click on this, add it. Whenever you close Command and come back, it'll be right here. Super helpful. Okay. Your product updates. This is from KW Support. This is pretty nifty. So it will show you what's new, but you can also choose what's next, and they'll show you what they're currently working on to bring live for your command. So it's got some really neat things on there. Your goals are listed here as well. Now, Scott doesn't have them set up. You can go over to your goals. We'll go over that in just a moment. However, you can choose year to date or month to date and view those. Your database health. We consider anything over 50% to be super helpful or healthy rather, because you're not going to have every single piece of contact information for every single contact. You can tell that Scott runs his database primarily off of email addresses. If you're more of someone that likes cold calling or direct lines to people, you would probably have a higher number of phone numbers versus email or mailing addresses. So this is specific to you, but you can look at it in view or in light of other agents in your market center, agents in your state, all agents. Gives you several options here that you can look at and compare yourself in your database health to others. Your design updates, it actually shows you some new designs that they've got going on over here, so you can preview them here. And if you scroll down, it'll show you recent leads. Now, you do see a customize home button up here on the top right. You'll see this on several of the tabs that we're going to see today. You will notice we call these action buttons. So you can always come in here, click, and customize it to exactly what you want. Let's say I don't want to see recent leads. I don't want to see my database health. I'm happy with what I have. I don't need to see how I compare to everyone else. And then I'm going to take off product updates. Okay, so what I'm left with over here, I can even move around and toggle these back and forth just a little bit, just to fully customize it the way I want to see it every time I open my command. Today I'm going to hit cancel because we don't want to update Scott's stuff without him. But that's just to let you know that you can make that personalized. Again, this is your database, okay? I'm going to come over here to the left and we're going to start going through these tabs very briefly, but just to show you a little bit of what Command can do for you. Command is super robust and there's a ton in here. Highly recommend checking into these classes 1 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, and you can also go to our YouTube channel that has our archives as well. Now I've clicked on the left-hand side for the contacts tab, and this is our database. Now, we obviously have a filter on, so you'll see this view. You should be able to see all of your contacts listed in here. Now, on the right, if you, let's say you had 1,300 contacts, but you're only seeing 20 listed here so far, you can always click the show right here and see up to 500 at a time, okay? You can search by whatever you'd like to search by. You can filter even. Let's click on filters and show you how many different options you can choose for your filters. Tags is probably the easiest to be able to search by if you've tagged your database like family, buyer, seller, prospect, whatever it is you've tagged them, or maybe even by a certain event or a certain neighborhood or an open house that you've met them in. Any tags you add, you can search right here and pick a tab and choose apply, and it'll show you those clients or contacts listed with that tag. Okay. You can even choose a smart view. Let's say that you have a certain number of clients that every morning you come in to do your lead generation. You want to be able to see these particular contacts right off the bat, not have to sort, make life a little bit easier by saving a step. You can come here and choose Smart View. You can either choose a Smart View you've already created, you can choose to create one, and whatever we've got it set on right here, I could click Smart View, save it, and that would also be set as my default. And every time I open my contacts, I'm ready to go in the morning. Super helpful. Over on the right-hand side, you will see an option to import. If you need any assistance in importing, we can also help with that. There's also a tip video on our YouTube as well to show you how to import into Command. You can also choose to add contacts one by one. That would be this action button here. And then you have your 3 dots. If you're a solo agent, you're going to see these 3 options. If you are on a team, you may see 3 other options that are grayed out. That would be if you're on your team profile. But just to go over the 3 that we are seeing, you can export all of your own contacts here. It will be in an editable form and it will be in a .csv file. .csv file is just a fancy way of saying comma delimited. File is a type of Excel, and this would be all your contacts from your personal profile exported right here. If you're going to come in and do any work on your database, let's say you're trying to revamp it, organize it, maybe move some people around or delete some folks, always highly recommend exporting a copy first because there is rarely an undo button. Okay, so once you start deleting folks, we don't want you to lose any of your database. So export that copy. Exporting mailing labels, when you'll see the CSV, that's editable. So it would come out in a spreadsheet form. You can move it around, make some changes if you would like. But when you export to a PDF form, it's not editable. This is something you could send directly to a printer to print off labels. Okay. And so these are your options here as far as your exports go. If you're on a team profile, the grayed out options would include being able to export your owned contacts from your team profile. Okay. So these are your contacts. I'm going to move on to our next tab here to tasks on the left-hand side. And again, remember, we saw a little preview of that on the dashboard. Here it goes into a little more detail. You'll also be able to make changes. It does work a little bit better with command if you're making the changes from the actual tab instead of working off of the dashboard. And you'll be able to see that you have contact tasks and you have all opportunity tasks. Contact tasks are going to be specific, again, just pretty self-explanatory to that specific contact. All opportunity tasks are going to be oriented around an actual opportunity that you've created here in command, an actual transaction. Okay. And you can see which tasks are located. You can check your completed, archived, and expired. You can also go over here and choose the ones that are going to be due tomorrow if you want to get ahead or due next week. And you can create new tasks up here on the top right. This is also an option to create from the contact itself when you are in the contact tab. So just know that you have an option to do that as well. Here, we're going to go to our Smart Plans tab. All right. And so the smart plans, this is where, think of it as your touch system. I know KW old school used to always talk about the 33 touch and a 555. If you hear terms like that, it's basically a smart plan in command now. These are touches that you can do to your contact database. The ones that have been saved or you've created are all listed here already. You can see how many contacts are listed in them, when it was created, and how many touches are involved. Your editable options are over here to the right. You can add contacts to them individually. If I was in my contact tab, you can do it in bulk, so you don't have to do one by one. But if I just had one particular person I wanted to add, I could do it here. I can also edit my smart plan, and your 3 options gives you even more editable options, like you can publish it to the library. Let's say that you have a smart plan that calls your prospect, waits a day, texts them, waits a day, reaches back out to them. As you can hear one of my furry babies in the background. I apologize, just a moment. The joys of working from home, guys, for a live class. Thank you for your patience. Okay, so and then you can publish it to the library. Let's say that you want it to help other agents and you've gotten good results. You can publish it to the library to help them as well. And you would find that over here under library. If you click right here, this would let you see the other smart plans that other agents have posted and KW support have posted as well. You'll have featured. If you scroll down a little bit more, you see Keller Williams, the top rated ones. You'll see the reviews. You'll see how many times they've been downloaded. You can kind of get lost in this because it's a lot. So I'm going to scoot back over to my smart plans, but that just gives you an idea that you don't have to create the wheel when you're getting into this. You can totally leverage other agents' things that have been super productive for them. Okay. But smart plans will just, it's a great way for command to work on your business and in your business while you're able to leverage your time and do other things. Highly recommend watching our other videos on YouTube about this and jumping in on our classes for this, because this can really, really leverage your time and efforts for your database. We're going to click on referrals now. This is another great way to grow your business. If you are wanting to connect with other KW agents in other areas, or maybe even in your local area, maybe where I was from and where I was an agent, we were in a metro area right in between 2 different states. So we had a big area that we covered, lots of rural areas around that city. And so we always networked with a lot of agents right near us that may have been like an hour away to show a house, but they were there and they could specialize. And it was a great way to leverage as well. So these are going to be your referrals within Command. This is your dashboard, gives you an overview. You do have several options. You can click My Referrals that you're possibly working on and My Network, the agents that you've already connected with that would be listed here. I really want to show you the map feature though. This is super helpful. So you can see that it shows us the entire United States and parts of Canada, and you can zoom in and zoom out. You may or may not get these pop-up blocks. So don't worry if you do or do not see those. But you can see here with the map that you can go in and choose and scroll in and scroll out. And let's say I'm an agent in Missouri, but I have a friend that's moving over to Arizona. So I want to find them an agent in that area. I can continue to zoom in, and on the right-hand side, in just a moment, you will start seeing agents populate. Here we go. And some of the agents will populate over here, and you can see their production. This is where you can access the profiles. Great example, no agents found. Let's keep going. Let me zoom in a little bit more. So it'll get us some, there we go. All right, now they're showing. So you can check their profile. This is where if I clicked on them, I could see their profile in that bio I was telling you about that you can make specifically to referral agents so that they would see it. I can also choose right here to add them to my network, or choose the button right here to send them a referral immediately. You do have a broadcast referral option. It only lets you do that if there's about 50 agents, so 422 is listed too many to send out a broadcast. It'll let you do it to 50 or more, or less. But you can send out a broadcast referral, and the first agent to respond is the one to get it. Or you can choose it specifically and actually interview them. I won't go into too much more detail here, but just know if you zoom in, you literally can start seeing homes listed and start clicking on the little green dots and find the agents that actually sold the houses that are on those particular streets. Hold on. I was going to show it to you, but it's a little finicky and I think I went in too fast. So, but you'll start seeing little green dots, and you can see the agents that are listed for that particular listing. Let's say your client friend had already picked out a neighborhood that they're wanting to work in. You can click on that dot to see what agent is actually operated in that neighborhood already. So it's a great way to choose a referral. Okay. And next, we're going to go to opportunities. This is your money-making hub. This is where you would come to get any transaction started with a buyer, a selling, even lease are here. Let it finish uploading. This first view that it's going to give you here is a visual, an overall visual appeal. Okay, so it's going to show you your listings, buyers, and leases. It's going to show you what stage they are currently in, how many files you have, and their GCI to the right. This is awesome. As an agent, just know that your GCI, you will see your potential income if every single deal that you've started, every single opportunity you've started from the cultivate phase, if everything worked out and it made it all the way to closing, it would show you your potential income right here. Your probable income, it actually bases it off of your stats and the probability of that file getting from cultivate all the way through to closing. So this would be more likely to be your probable or projected income. Very cool. Just know you have other tabs up here at the top as well. This is if you were on a team, you would see the dream team. To the right, you'll see your individual. Again, if you're not on a team, you wouldn't see the team, but you can choose your individual opportunities. You can go to all opportunities, which is usually the best view and recommended by us to view it under, because no matter where you've created the opportunity, you would see it here. Or you can go to all discussions. There is a discussion option, almost like a chat feature between you and anyone else that you have added as a collaborator onto your opportunities. You can have discussions here regarding those opportunities, and that's where you would click it. Let's say I was under Scott Leroy or under all opportunities. You can come here and import from .loop. you could create a new opportunity, and you do have some setting options over here to the right. Okay. But this is where you would access if your Market Center is using DocuSign or .loop, whichever platform they're using. If you need to get to your documents, this is where you would come. You absolutely would come here to start your transactions and to move all the way through the paperwork through this opportunity tab. Okay. On the left, we're going to choose campaigns next. This is where you would do campaigns through your social media. You could do them through email. You can even do direct mail campaigns through this tab. It's so robust. It's amazing. I just want to make sure that you see that you can do your dashboard here, and it does have some quick posts. It does have even tips and training, and you can even toggle it to say advanced tips over here to the right. If you're a little familiar with this, you can click that and make it a little more advanced. And then also you have an option at the top for payments. This is where, remember when I was saying you have 5,000 emails through Command Email for free, 2,500 through MailChimp. If you're sending them out or you want to do a paid campaign through Facebook and you need to pay for it, this is the tab where you go to keep track of all of that. It's that payment right there. I do want to show you this because it's going to come up in just a couple more tabs. So see and pay close attention to this. If I create campaign, I click that once, you will see 4 different options: social ad, social post, direct mail, or email. It's very important to notice which one you are doing, because when we get to designs, they work in tandem, and you want to make sure if you're creating a design for a direct mail, you've chosen a direct mail design to go with your direct mail campaign. So if you're running into errors in campaigns and you've created your own design, 9 out of 10 times, this is the issue. So just make sure this is congruent with what you're choosing in designs. Okay, so we're going to X that out, and we're going to come down here to reports. This is your next tab here. I'm going to let that load. All right. And this should look a little familiar. We covered a bit of this on the dashboard where it shows you the overall health for your database. This goes into it more. This is another dashboard where you can see a little more of your database health. You also have the option at the top to produce reports based on that. You can set your goals. If you're on a team and you're a team leader and you want to route leads to your team members, this would be a tab that you would use for lead routing. You also can track emails and text and calls through command that you've done. This is all where you would pull that data. So if you are a numbers person, this place would make you super happy to be able to check up on your stats. Okay. We're going to jump to designs. The design tab is kind of like Canva, but within command. So you can see some that have already been created here, and I can select them and go into editing, or select them and download them so that I can move them into a campaign. You can also import. Let's say you actually like Canva better. You've created a design in Canva and you want to bring it in here. This is where you would import it. You can also create a design. When I click to create a design, this should look familiar as well. This is what I was talking to you about in campaigns. If you're going to create a design for a social post, make sure you're clicking social. And when you go to campaigns, you make sure that you're creating a campaign for a social post. Those have to be in tandem. It has to be an agreement for it to work properly. Okay. I'm not going to go too far into designs, but if you're at all into marketing or branding yourself or being creative, this is an incredible outlet right here. There's so many options. It opens up a huge floor of templates and things that you can design on your own, It also has branded assets in it already for you. Let's say you have a profile photo and a logo and a marketing slogan that you like to use with all of your information. You can get it all set up here in Designs, so it's easy click and drag whenever you go to do your own marketing and create pieces. So it's amazing. Um, we're going to move further into listings here. Think of this as kind of like your MLS within your command. You can look up your own listings or you can search any agent's listings here as well. You will see that we do not currently have any listings, obviously. Scott's not an agent, but you can sync your MLS so that it will pull here. Okay. This is very helpful and you can create searches as well. Um, In fact, let's go ahead. I'm not going to jump into this too much. Just know also when you were doing designs, you can pull directly from this. If you have your MLS linked, you can pull that information from your listing into a design, quick and easy, click and drag, and it'll help you do that. Let's go to consumer. This is your website. So think of your consumer-based website. The tab is named consumer. Immediately right off the bat, you will see right here, this is going to be your KW website URL, okay? This is editable. If you do want to change that, you can reach out to us and we can help you, or you can always come over here to Site and App Settings. And I'll get into that in just a quick moment. What you're seeing on this first page are the pages that you have for your website. On the right, you will see a green eyeball. Green means it's live and viewable. If you see a gray one like this one right here, it is not active on your website. You've created it, it's sitting there, but it's not actively published. On the top, you will see agent site pages, obviously, so it just went over, but you can also create landing pages here. Let's say you got a listing and you want to give that client their own landing page that highlights just their listing. This is where you can create that and we can help you with that. You also, let's say you're going to an open house and you want to have a sign-in feature, a sign-up option, or a form for people to fill out when they go to their open house. You can create a landing page just for that, and they can electronically sign up on your iPad in your open house and collect their data. Your guide builders. There are guides already on here. They are customizable to a point, one for a buyer, one for a seller. This is where you would access those. And you have collections. Now, you know how we were just talking about the listings and syncing your MLS? Collections is a way to basically, how to explain this? Your MLS, when a buyer goes in and makes a certain search criteria for what they're looking for, and it creates a hot sheet and it'll send out those listings to that buyer every day or every hour, whichever you set it for. Think of that kind of like this for collections. It's where your consumer, your client prospect goes onto your app or your web page and is searching for certain criteria. You can create a collection based off of their search. It is a brand new feature. There's not a whole lot out there about it just yet, and it's not fully functioning, but just know this is up and coming, and it's going to help you be able to create searches specific to your clients. Okay. So moving over to your site and app settings here, we're going to give this one click. Oh, by the way, easy action button over here as well. Create a new page. So that's there, but I want to show you site and app settings. This is your general website. Okay. This goes into your hero images, the things that are showing up on the top of your website that would show as the background photo. You can have up to 5 here, and you can change those out as you would like. Okay. You can even set, it scrolled a little fast, sorry. You can even set for registration on your website. If you want to send this to a prospect, you can let them view unrestricted, or you can set it, they only can view 2 properties, but then they're going to be required to enter their registration information, like their name and email, before they can look for more contacts. So you can set that how you would like to. Usually it's very personal to each agent, how they like to run their business. For the URLs, if you give this tab a click, this is where you would change your website domain right here. You can change it up to 30 characters and make sure you hit save if it saves and is something that you can have, you'll get a green ribbon at the top and it'll tell you that it's updating. It'll take about 30 minutes for it to be fully functional, but it will give you an error message if you're trying to choose something that another agent has or is not allowed, right? Based on your local requirements. So just like we can't have realtor and things like that in email addresses. So your app URL settings are right here as well. This is not customizable, but you can copy it here. Let's say you wanted to copy here and go stick it on a web page or go up and put it in one of your designs. This is where you would copy it for them to have your consumer app. Okay. Featured listings. You can also, again, create featured listings on your website. You can change the theme just a little bit. It has a red theme or a dark theme, not too much variation. And then your agent site pages. This is just like we were over here on agent site pages to be able to edit them and see which ones are live. This particular part will come in and let's grab the contact me. So you can change how it looks in your drop down menu on your website. That would be this. You could put reach out to me. Let's stay in touch. Whatever you would like here instead of just contact me. You can also update the URL slug. So it's going to be your website address / whatever word you put right here. So your URL slug could say contact me or whatever you would like to have there. And you can also put an SEO description underneath as well. Okay. That is it for your website. And as far as most of your options go, and I'm going to go over to our chat really quick and check on our questions. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording now. I appreciate you guys attending today. And again, just for the ones watching this after the live class, if you do have any further questions, you can reach out to us at support@scottleroymarketing.com.